Hey guys, so today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about decision making, specifically with playstyles. The reason why this is going to be a little bit different is the point of this VOD or video is essentially to hopefully have you think a little bit more critically about decision making with related to playstyles. It's not necessarily supposed to give you the right answer, but it's supposed to essentially have you think about, if I do this decision, what are maybe the pros of it and the cons? When I get by the cons, what are the consequences of my actions? What is something that could go wrong or like the enemy team could get value out of? What is a weakness of it? Then also thinking about that weakness, thinking about, does my team comp I'm playing or some of the heroes on my team make that weakness even less? So the decision I end up making is pretty optimal. Okay, so that's sort of the goal of this. I hope you guys like it, but let's go straight into it. So first, what is this? Well, like I said, it's about understanding different playstyle options and sort of choosing it, and then from there, understanding the consequences of it. So I'm going to give a very simple example, and we'll see, like, I'll draw it out and we'll talk about it a bit more. So let's first look at Ashe. Let's say we're focusing on Ashe target priority. Ashe can pressure tanks. Ashe can pressure DPS or supports or squishies, supports of a bit far back, or Ashe can maybe be forced to take like one-on-ones. There's also consequences with this, but let's look at it like an actual visual example, as I think it might make things a little bit easier. So here we have, let's say this is us, blue is us, we're defending, and red is the attacking team. Now, if my goal as Ashe is to pressure enemy tanks, I might play over here and I'll look to shoot this tank. Now, if I shoot this tank pretty good, that means that this Winston is going to struggle to be able to get on these guys, which is good. That means my Brig Ana, is safe to do things. My Ashe is sort of safe to do things. But because this is happening, it'll leave this Ashe alone. This Ashe is free. The Ana and Brig are free because they're not under any pressure. And that's sort of the consequence. However, in this situation, because my tanks, their tanks are getting pressured and hopefully getting forced out or pressured a little bit, my tanks can take more space and deny multiple people on their team because my Ana is free. And yes, maybe their Winston's getting healed, but even still, the Winston can't do much more. He's getting Ana's eventually gonna have to reload, right? Eventually, this person's gonna have to drop because he's taking more like Ashe damage plus Ana damage. So my Winston inherently will get a lot of value here. Plus, this Tracer will be able to come up and deal pressure. So if you look at the pros in this, right, it's that I'm dealing damage to tanks as long as the tank's not able to get on my backline. My tanks understand that, hey, their DPS and their supports are open, and that was a con of this, right? That was what was bad, is we couldn't really deal with them. If the tanks know their role and they know that in this situation they should be more aggressive and hold space and pressure them, then this works really well. Another example of this, or let's sort of move it, right, and sort of switch it up. Now let's say you don't pressure tanks. Let's say you pressure DPS. Let's say the Ashe is up here. So Winston, D.Va, more like that, I'd probably say. Ashe is up here. Say Brig Ana is over here. This looks about right. And now is Ashe. You're hard focusing on their Ashe. And when you're hard focusing on their Ashe, now there's an issue. The issue is what? Well, this Winston now is free because he's not taking direct damage. Hence, this Winston can jump right over here. And if he jumps right over here, he denies 3 people. It's a 1v3. Not looking good for you. It enables their Ashe quite a bit. Enables the D.Va. If our maybe tanks go in, they just take a 4v or a 5v1. Even if these 3 go in, it's a 5v3. That's not going to look good. So that won't look great. So the consequences of this is if I don't pressure this Winston as an Ashe, then essentially the enemy team could just jump on me and deny quite a lot, which is why normally you see sometimes Brig Ana split, so the Winston can only jump on not all 3 people, but 1 or 2, which is just inherently better. And if Winston jumps here, then Brig will pack. Winston jumps, whoops. Ooh. If Winston jumps, over here, then Ashe will shoot, and they can sort of peel each other. But there's still a way to solve this, right? Now we know that this Winston is an issue, right? We understand that, hey, if we're pressuring this Ashe, this Winston's a problem. We need to do something about it. So now we have our D.Va, right? Mark the Winston more. Put the D.Va in to sort of deny the Winston. We use our Winston to sort of soft cut off heals, and we use our Tracer to either go pressure their Winston, which is pretty good to build pulse, or if we're really confident we can actually kill something, then the Tracer can go on like the back line, or maybe follow up on an Ashe headshot. The Tracer can be sort of versatile too. And what's interesting about this, right, is now, again, whatever the con or the consequence was that the Winston would be able to jump on you and split you up, is now that can be dealt with if everybody knows their own role. So hopefully what you're noticing here is you can have multiple play styles. There are consequences to it, but if your team actually understands how to work around those consequences and everyone understands their role, it can still work out. Other thing to understand here, which is also interesting, is this Tracer also has options. This Tracer could go on the Ashe off, like the enemy Ashe off, or maybe an Ashe headshot, or maybe a nade that Zenyatta throws. Tracer could go follow up with the Winston and go on the back line, and soft pressure them, or maybe get lucky and get a kill. Tracer could also go on this Winston with D.Va and really maybe punish the Winston. And that itself, right, has options and consequences as well. I'm not going to go into that, but hopefully maybe you can think about that one a little bit further. I'm going to go into one more example. I hope you're understanding this. But let's go into one more. This example is on, let's do this map. So this is Busan Sanctuary. I'm going to talk about an interesting example here. It's related to Zenyatta. So a lot of people think about Zen, it's like, okay, I'm going to Discord somebody and I'm just going to shoot them. In this specific composition, Zen Discord is pretty valuable. So before we were talking about playstyles, we're more focused to target priority. Here now we're going to look at Discord and how Discord can sort of change how the team is playing and how sort of you get value. So you have a few options, right? Again, in terms of Discord priority, you could Discord maybe the enemy Zen so that your ball tracer could go follow up and kill the Zen instantly. You could Discord maybe the ball, trying to make it so he can't close distance very well. You could Discord maybe the Ashe because you think the Ashe is scary, and if you put Discord, you can maybe try and ego him, or maybe try and ego the Tracer if you try and ego either of them. Or lastly, you could maybe try and Discord the Sigma so that if the Sigma tries to take space, your Sigma can fight, and your Sigma will be able to maybe win because you've got a Discord advantage. So there's about, let's see, Ball, Sigma, Ashe Tracer together, Zen, about 4 options. I'm not going to count Brig because that doesn't make a lot of sense if Zen's there because Zen is just a better Discord target. You have no armor, you have no shield, you don't self-heal. Well, we don't self-heal off Inspire, you self-heal off shield, but that's different. So now let's go against the same logic. Let's first let's choose a decision, choose an option, and let's look at the consequences of that option. So let's say as Zen here, you want to play really fast. So you want to Discord this Zen because you think your ball tracer can kill him. So you Discord said Zen. Your ball tracer then looks to go hit the Zen, which then leaves what? Well, now if you're Discording the back line, it leaves the enemy Sigma free, it leaves the Ashe free, the ball tracer free. So the ball tracer now can look to go and go in your back line. The Sigma can look to take space, but not really a big issue because these guys are fine. The Ashe is free to, do something, but as long as you play a corner, Ashe shouldn't really matter. The problem where Ashe would matter is this ball tracer hits you, dynamite comes in, you're probably just going to die. But in this one situation, because your Ashe is positioned like here, this ball tracer can't just go magically to the Zen. This Ashe will shoot the ball tracer, hopefully, and make it harder. Hence, ball tracer won't get that much value. Tanks will be fine. The tanks won't be able to do that much, and you're not going to be vulnerable to the tanks. Ashe won't get that much value because there's no follow-up, really. So the con, right, which would have been, I'm Discording the Zen for my team to sort of, follow up and kill, is no longer that big of an issue because your Ashe is set up well. And a little bit higher level here is just because you're Discording the Ashe, just because you're Discording the Zen, doesn't mean that you need to shoot the Zen. You can play over here and still shoot the ball. It just that means that you have no Discord, so it's not going to be as valuable, but it's still a decent option. Let's now change this up a little bit. Let's now say you look to Discord the ball tracer. You look to Discord the ball tracer and you're playing that playstyle. Now, the ball tracer may not get any value at all here. But what might end up happening now is that maybe the Brig Zen, Sigma Zen push really aggressive, and they look to maybe try and push our front line, and because you're focused here, these three here look to sort of run over the Sig. They dynamite the Sig. Sig Brig pushes with their Ashe dynamites. What's happening here? Weird bug. There we go. Okay, we're good now. But what I was saying is, if we have our Zen and Ashe looking to deal with this ball tracer, first of all, Brig might have to help. But the enemy team's backline could look to sort of push into our Sig with the dynamite follow-up, and our Sig could die. And obviously, yes, our ball tracer could hit these guys, but the fact of the matter is, ball tracer, unless you're super clean, aren't going to be able to deal with these 4. It's 2v4. It's simple math, right? Quick math. The 4 is going to win. So what you're hoping now, right, is you're hoping that these 2 guys, maybe the Brig, is able to win this. And that's the value your Zen is saying, is I'm going to Discord the ball, I'm going to try and force the ball out, and I'm going to try and get value. Well, the con, like I just mentioned, is that are you going to get value fast enough before these guys over here kill your Sigma, or these guys over here punish the ball tracer that's coming in. And there's not really a set answer for this. It's that more of the answer is your ball tracer needs to play their role correctly, in the sense of your ball tracer needs to make sure that when they soft hit or they hit, they get in and out. And if they aren't able to do that well, then that won't work. So hopefully here you can sort of see, again, it's a little bit more tricky, the con, where you're really putting a lot into hoping that your backline is going to be able to live versus ball tracer, which is very doable, and forces ball tracer out, but that's going to take time. And your ball tracer is going to be able to contest 2v4 and be able to sort of live. So this, hopefully, I hope this makes sense. Again, it's a little bit of a different type of VOD. I haven't done these type of VODs before, but I hope you guys enjoyed. And also, thank you for watching to the very end. I know it was a little bit long and really technical, I think, but I hope you enjoyed. Thank you guys so much, and have a great day.